people, it's me Anja. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new recent reads video. First book on this list is called Yesterday's History. This book is a YA contemporary speculative fiction story. I feel like there was a lot of words to explain the genre of this story, but basically it's YA contemporary and follows a young black gay boy who discovers that he has the ability to time travel because his new liver gives him this ability. This book was so good. I really enjoyed it. It was just so well done. The time travel element was so well researched and well thought out. You know what I mean? I don't always love stories that have a time travel element in them because they have a tendency to become very convoluted very, very fast. But in this story, it was rather simple. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed it. The romance was so cute and it was so fluffy and so well done. You know what I mean? The romance in the story kind of reminded me of The Gravity of Us, so we love to see it. This book was so well done and I just really enjoyed it because I found myself to be so hooked by the writing and the romance and the world building and just everything. You know what I mean? The writing of the story kind of reminded me of early departures. You know, this book is so well done, and with that I highly recommend it, and I gave it 4 stars because I did not feel like I was reading a debut book. You know what I mean? Basically, I'm so excited to read more by this author in the future. So with that, like I said, I highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called The Good Luck Girls. This book is absolutely so good. It's a YA fantasy and it's another story that I rated 4 stars. So basically it follows Astor and her group of friends who were all outlaws from the brothel that enslaved them. This book is so good. I was so hooked almost immediately by the world building, the action-packed, fast-paced plot. This book really said When We Were Magic, but like upgraded. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed the cast of characters. I really enjoyed their bond and their dynamic with each other. You know what I mean? Like they're like sisters, but like found family sisters. You know what I mean? This book is so good. I absolutely really enjoyed it and I'm so excited to read the sequel. I think the sequel comes out in April or something like that. But basically I'm so excited to just get back into this world with these characters because these characters really felt so real and like well-rounded. You know what I mean? And the plot and the world building felt so like intriguing and just so lovely and wonderful. This book is so underrated, and for what? Because it's absolutely so good. So with that, I rated it 4 stars and I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Love is a Revolution. This story is YA contemporary and it follows a young plus-size black girl who finds a new romantic relationship but also falls in love with herself. This story was so well done and it was just so cute and wonderful and lovely. Having a story about self-love but through the perspective of a black plus-size girl is so timely and so important, and this book is so well done. I just really enjoyed it, and the romance as well was so fluffy and just so cute and wonderful. You know what I mean? Apparently I can't stop saying the word lovely and wonderful because I don't know how else to explain how much I really enjoyed this book. It was absolutely so cute and so fluffy, but it was also like so lighthearted as well. You know what I mean? I expected this book to be nothing more than a soft, lighthearted, fluffy, romantic YA contemporary story, but it was also so much more than that. You know what I mean? This book definitely exceeded my expectations in a good way, in a really good way, because it was absolutely so good, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. So with that, I highly recommend it because it was absolutely so good. You know what I mean? There should be more romantic YA contemporaries that focus on self-love because self-love is just as important as like loving other people. You know, basically I highly recommend this story because it was absolutely so good. The next book on this list was called All the Tides of Fate, written by Adalyn. For those who don't know, this book is a YA fantasy sequel to All the Stars and Teeth. All the Stars and Teeth was one of my favorite books of 2020. So this book was one of my most anticipated releases of 2021. This book was solid. It was a very good, solid sequel, and I ended up giving it 4 stars because I did really enjoy the world building, the action-packed, fast-paced plot, the angsty romance. I really enjoyed the character development. This book was really good, and it felt very like satisfying and conclusive. You know what I mean? However, I did find myself preferring the first book over this one, and I don't really know why. But anyway, this duology is really good, and I do highly recommend it. But I found myself rating this book 4 stars, whereas I rated the first book 5 stars. But anyway, this duology is really good, and I do highly recommend it because the world building is so well done. The characters are so well developed and fleshed out. The romance is so cute. It kind of reminds me of the romance of Fable, you know what I mean? This book is so good, and I do highly recommend it, even though I did prefer the first book. So with that, I do highly recommend this duology and this book. So yeah. The next book on this list is called The Gilded Ones. This story is YA fantasy, and there's a trigger warning for graphic violence. This story follows Decca, who's an outcast by blood and a warrior by choice. I enjoyed this book, and I ended up giving it 3 stars because even though I enjoyed the world building and the action-packed, fast-paced plot, I never really found myself emotionally attached or connected to these characters at all. You know what I mean? Even though I enjoyed and I was intrigued by what was happening to Decca, I didn't really care about her herself. You know what I mean? And I really thought that I would. I kept waiting to like fall in love with her as a character, as a person. You know what I mean? And I never did. I don't know why, but like I just never did. But with that said, I do completely understand why people are really hyping up this story, why people are like really enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, it just personally wasn't for me. And like I said, there is a trigger warning for graphic violence, so like that as well isn't my cup of tea at all. So yeah, with that said, I rated this book 3 stars. I will not be reading the sequel, but I do completely understand why this story is being so hyped up, because like I said, the world building is really good, the plot is really good. It just wasn't for me. So with that, yeah. So in conclusion, I rated all the books on this list 4 stars, except for The Gilded Ones, which I rated 3 stars. So by default, The Gilded Ones is the book that I enjoyed the least. And out of all the books that I rated 4 stars, Yesterday's History is the one that I enjoyed the most. So yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below why you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!